not vain. If I were vain, I would have put on a filter or some makeup. Anyway, just wanted to update you on what's going on. Why am I singing? I don't know, but I'm sweating because I'm sweating out this flu that I've had for well over a week now. Anyway, hi everybody, happy Friday. I am just wanting to update you on the status, my status at least, since the wildfires have died down. I am not an imminent threat anymore, but this flu, Alabama bug, whatever it is, I think it was piggy-tailed by another cold. But thank goodness, I seem to be really for real on the backside of it now. And my animals are like, thank goodness, lady, because this apartment looks a wreck. I know it does. Just wanted to share with you guys my doom space. I keep hearing this terminology when I'm coaching clients, like the doom room. Anybody got a doom room? I have a doom space that I've created since I've been sick for the last week and a half. Sick meaning I've just been on the couch, like literally sleeping on the couch, taking my meals on the couch, watching way more TV than I need to, all the while, unfortunately, depriving my fur children over here all of the running and playing that they deserve. However, you know what? We've had terrible air quality for the last week or so, so nobody's really been taking their dogs out. So I guess I couldn't have picked a better time to be sick, even though I didn't pick the time. A little, I'm talkative right now because I am medicated, thank goodness. Anyway, here's the here's the doom space. There's Desi. She's sitting on the couch that I've been slumbering on, eating on, sleeping on. And guys, I don't have my smell back yet because I'm still having, stuffed up sinuses. I hate to think what this place actually smells like, to be honest. Because, I'm a little nose blind to having two dogs who are clean dogs. Yes, they're very clean dogs. Hi, Larry. This is Larry. Say hi. Say hi to everybody on YouTube. He's pretending to be camera shy. And that's Desi Lou. And yes, so this is the doom spot. This is the TV that I've been watching way too much. Landman on Paramount. I've also been watching Dexter the Beginning and simultaneously watching Dexter from 10 years ago. So I'm watching them concurrently. Hi, Neha Zaid. How are you? I'm in Los Angeles. Where are you? So yeah, this is the area, guys, that's really the doom zoom. I mean, the doom area of the room. Like everything that I've touched in the last week and a half, blown my nose with, eaten from, drink from, that's like, it is just right here. And it's not nearly as bad as it. Why am I showing you guys this? This is so awful. Okay, no, I'm showing it to you because I want you to know that if you too are a pig and a slob, when you're sick, you're not alone. Okay. This is the wig I throw on if I have to be on a Zoom call this past week, just in case, because nobody's got time to do their hair when they're sick. It looks like a dead pet right there. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. I'm so sorry. There we go. What's under here? Earrings, my Bible. Like, please, Lord, let me get over the flu quickly. A can of air, to get all the dust out of the keyboards, and just clothes that, just throw over here. Boy, I have no shame right now. Anyway, and these two are like, you really should. Anyway, that's the doom area of the apartment. I've tried to keep everything that is just contaminated with my germs in this one area, and the rest of the apartment, is like, well, I really have no excuse for the rest of the apartment. I'm just a little cluttered. Anyway, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for your compliment on my dogs. They are cute, aren't they? They're so cute. Anyway, why did I start this live? I don't know. I'm trying to get into the habit of going live more often. So here we are. It's Friday. Didn't really come on with any planned agenda other than to let you know that my next lives are going to be all about coaching, ADHD coaching. Look at me, I look terrible. How dare I? How dare I come on camera looking like this? You know what though? It's real. Keep it real. This is me. This is me. This is me. This is how I look when I wake up in the morning. I'm a little sweaty right now because I'm a little feverish, but you know what? This is me. And if there are any available sane men out there, emotionally available, who doesn't mind waking up to this, don't contact me. I just don't do the online thing. Anyway, I'm going to be doing live coaching topics twice a week, and on like it'll be on Mondays and Wednesdays. Hopefully I'll post something about it. And on Fridays, I'm going to have a little more fun with my lives. I'll be reacting to like really just strange things out there on the internet and it's all going to be through an ADHD lens. Everything I do, everybody, is to help you see the world or identify what you're seeing is not you being weird. It's you're just looking at it through your ADHD lens. A lot of times, you know what I've discovered? A lot of times, the conflicts we have with people, because we do have them, if we aren't aware that some of us may, be extra chatty. Some of us may be that energy vampire that drains other people of their mental energy. I'm not saying it's always us, not saying it's all of us at all. I'm speaking for myself. I am a very loquacious and chatty person with ADHD because I am the combined type where my hyperactivity is up here, but it comes out here sometimes without the filter. And that rubs some people the wrong way sometimes. And a lot of times we can like take on the guilt that every failed relationship that we have, or every failed friendship, or every conflict we have is our fault. And it might be. Some of it might be. But I think when we learn to understand why that is and communicate or advocate for ourselves to the people that we are around most often, then they learn to give us grace. And if they don't, then they're the a-holes. They're the a-holes. And those are people that we don't need to spend too much time around. I think once people learn what we have to offer in the world, which is a lot, a lot, people can, I think, start to see us for who we truly are, and we're free to be who we truly are. And now, what is it, Larry? Excuse me. Larry is trying to get my attention. What is it, baby? What is it? What do you want, huh? What do you want? Anyway, I think he hears his girlfriend outside or something. His girlfriend is actually a cat. My dog is in love with a cat that wanders by our window sometimes. The kitty actually lives across the hall, but gets out of the apartment and comes under our window, and they're in love with each other. And then when he sees the kitty in her window on the other side of the building, when we walk by, he stands under the window and just serenades her like, ooh, ooh. And I'm like, this is so unusual. It's so cute. Anyway, I think Larry's okay. Anyway, I just want to send out my heartfelt prayers to anyone who might be watching who has relatives, or you yourselves might have suffered physical harm or property harm during these fires this last week and a half. And let me see. Oh, we got some people on a live stream. Let's see. Truck Dynasty, how are you? Yeah, I guess you guys are talking to each other, but if anybody has something you want me to see, please type it in there and I'll try to respond to it. And if I can help, I will. So anybody have any coaching questions or anything about ADHD you'd like to ask? Since I'm on live and this is Friday, well, why don't we just take a quick, 10-minute Q&A. Anybody want to know anything that an ADHD coach can answer? Anybody? Uh-oh, and we won't be able to do this for very long because my My phone's down to 20%, but okay, I don't see any questions yet, but feel free to ask if you want. Let me tell you about some of the fun things that, my goodness, looks like somebody's having some medical difficulties. Somebody lose somebody in a fire. Truck Dynasty, if you've lost somebody in a fire, my sincere apologies to you. Hi there, Rain. Is that who it is? Rain. I have very bad eyesight right now, guys. I apologize. I have to have a cataract surgery pretty soon. Anyway, if I mispronounce your name or missay your name, please forgive me. Just my eyesight is not great, along with me being a little bit feverish. Rain, hi. Yes, it is. Great. How are you? Where are you writing in from, Rain? Anyway, let me tell you guys about some of the fun things that are going to be coming up on my channel pretty soon. And first of all, I just want to say, I want to ask, I hope your surgery goes well. Hi, thank you so much. I hope it does too. I only have really one good eye. So you guys want to hear something funny? So I never considered myself as somebody handicapped. And you know, well, I'm not compared to some people, but I am. Technically, I am. So I'm legally blind in my left eye since birth because I had a lazy eye that after it was straightened, I just never really regained proper functional vision in that eye. Okay, so legally that makes me like having a handicap, but I never considered it a handicap because it's just the way I see, right? Like you don't know anything's wrong with you until somebody tells you something's wrong with you. But then when I got my ADHD diagnosis and discovered that that is also a disability, I'm like, I have just been disabled my whole life and didn't even know it, which is kind of good because, you know, I haven't like felt like a victim at all. Does anybody feel like a victim if you have ADHD? Do you feel like you were victimized by ADHD? Please put in the chat if you do and write why. And I understand if you do because yeah, ADHD does handicap us in a lot of ways in certain circumstances. And it's usually in the circumstances that matter the most, you know, like at our job or in our relationships with our finances. So first thing I want to put out there as a request, I am ADHD is the new black. And a lot of people, when they talk about their channels, they're like, oh, we are so happy you're supporting us, or we are, you know, putting out more videos. Now, when I say we, I mean me. People usually say, just say we, it makes it sound like you're bigger than you are. Guys, it's just me, okay? It's me. I do all the editing for what it's worth. I do all the writing, the preparing, the camera work. I've been doing this channel for 4 years now. Kind of took a break from content creating for the last year and a half while I was working on my coaching hours. But yeah, it's just me. And I am this close to having 10,000 subscribers. So first of all, if you all would do me a favor, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I want to hit that 10,000. It's such, it's a milestone. And I've been hovering at, flirting with, kissing, you know, just right at 10,000. I'll lose subscribers, I'll gain subscribers. And it's like, I want to get past that 10,000 mark. I would like to get past the 10 million mark. That would be great. And I'm working towards that because, you know, I want to put out content that people want to watch. Funny thing is, when I started this channel during quarantine 5 years ago almost, oh my gosh, I thought it was just going to be a hobby. And I'm still treating it like a hobby, which is why I'm so not wealthy right now. But anyway, what I'm asking is that because it's just me and I have so many undeveloped parts of my platform, like I need a website, I don't have a design, I don't have a logo designer, I don't have a common theme with my cut, like I'm still operating like I just started this channel, and people who just started their channel, like their stuff is tighter than mine. If there is anyone out there who, and only do it if you have a heart for it, please, only if you have a heart for it, if you have a creative mind and a heart for it. I hate asking for stuff. Oh, that's my wall. I hate asking for stuff. Send me $1 million. No, I'm kidding. But if you can, please do. No, I hate asking for stuff because I feel like I'm asking for a favor, but I am asking for a favor. If you all enjoy the content on this channel, if you've been kind of keeping up with me for a while, if you yourself, if you are someone who likes to give back or who likes to support through your creativity, I have some positions that I cannot pay for right now, but if you are willing to just help me grow just a little bit, either through like graphic design, or if you have an idea for a logo design and colors, I'm so bad at picking colors, I would really appreciate that kind of support. And trust me, it would get paid back to you in some kind of capacity. I want to be, you know, that content creator like Jessica McCabe, who has a whole team behind her, but she started with just herself and her boyfriend who was editing for her at the time. And that's one more person on her team than I have right now. So anyway, Jessica's a great friend of mine, by the way. So please, I'm sure you do check out her channel. Just go over there and like her videos too, but like mine first. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yes, so everybody, this is what's coming up on this channel as far as playlists. I'm going to be doing specialized playlists, coaching playlists. One is going to be called Mayday ADHD. It's going to deal specifically with like problems that plague those of us who have ADHD. And we're like, oh my gosh, why am I like this way? I don't know what to do about it. Mayday ADHD is a playlist I am working for that will hopefully help you with those concerns. Another playlist is called the dopamine playlist. The dopamine playlist is just stuff that I like, that gives me dopamine. Hi, Naj, how are you? Am I still live? Yes. Let me tell you guys, dopamine is like the key to ADHD. Dopamine is what ADHD is about. The lack of it, generating it, finding it, it's what gets us motivated to do anything. Without dopamine, and this is not just ADHD people, this is everybody, this is every brain. Without dopamine, we have no motivation to do anything, even the stuff we want to do. And that is the problem with ADHD, is that according to the science, our dopamine receptors aren't as active or don't activate or produce as much dopamine as somebody else who may not have ADHD, right? That's why when it comes time for us to do things that we don't want to do, or we don't find enjoyable or easy, or we're required to do and we don't want to do it, we have a hard time getting over that speed bump of, oh, how do I get started? And a lot of times, if we don't have a strong why for doing something, and that why is really just the motivation, like, why am I doing this? Like, who is this for? Ugh. We have a hard time getting started, whereas maybe the person next to us, they don't want to do it either. They don't have ADHD, but they can just get started on it without having to negotiate with themselves. So that's what our issue is with ADHD, is that we're always negotiating with ourselves to do the stuff that we know we should be doing, but we don't want to or don't know how to get started. Am I still alive? Okay. Somebody just say, hey, if I'm still alive. Anyway, what was I saying? Ooh, 2 whole people on live. Wow, this is a slamming live shot. Anyway, so the dopamine playlist is, oh, hi, thank you, love. The dopamine playlist, which I'm working on, is just stuff that Stacy loves. And if you love it too, it'll entertain you as well. But my dopamine playlist includes like just things that you know how we all have our weird things that only us, we're the only ones who are really like into it, you know, like we're just into it and we want other people to be into it too. And when we're talking about it, it's like, why don't you understand? Why don't you get it? Like, how do you not like it? It's like, how do you not like that? It's like, okay, just because we like it and we like worship it until like, oh, I don't like that anymore, doesn't mean other people have to. So the dopamine playlist is my indulgence. It's going to be my self-indulgence of stuff that I like. And if you like it too, if you You're going to learn some stuff because I'm going to deep dive in some, I don't like to say nerdy stuff, but just in some very specific interest of mine. A lot of it's music, but okay. And then another playlist I have is just strictly things that will help educate you about your ADHD brain. So there are going to be resources that you can go to say, hey, what's that about? Why do I do this? What, that's ADHD too? What, being clumsy is an ADHD? Wow. So anyway, that's what the prospective playlists that I'm working on are going to be. And I hope you all enjoy it. I hope I fulfill this promise that I'm making to you. No, I will. That's why I'm telling you. That's why I'm telling you. I'm holding myself accountable. What do we have here? Rain says, I'm kind of in the middle with having ADHD and not having it. I'm still in school, and whenever I have to do homework, sometimes I can force myself to do it, but sometimes I can't, and I daydream instead. Rain, are you in high school or college? Love says, when will you put out the dopamine playlist? Ooh, love. As soon as possible. As soon as possible. My the first episode, Love, that I'm working on is kind of like the magnum opus, which like that should be the last one I'm putting out. But I've been trying to get this very famous musician to talk to me, and he just thinks I'm like a weird stalker now, but I can do it without him, to be honest. I'm not going to say who, and it's probably somebody you don't even know. Like if I showed you a picture of him or said his name, unless you're a musician, you wouldn't know. But if I played a song that he played on, you'd be like, oh my gosh, that guy's on all those songs. Anyway, high school, Rain's in high school. What grade are you in, Rain? But love, thank you for asking about the dopamine playlist. Now I know that there's high demand for it. That motivates me. Liam Jones, when did being a normal being who hates doing homework become ADHD? Well, Liam, are you ADHD or you're not ADHD? Rain, you're in 9th grade. Great. Rain, yes, getting engaged in homework is really hard, especially if you don't like doing homework. Here's a quick tip that is counterintuitive from a parent's perspective. I'm not a parent, but my parents never understood why I wanted to have dessert before I had dinner. Same thing with our brains. If you're having trouble engaging in your homework, do something that you enjoy first for a set period of time. If you like playing video games, if you like, watching your favorite show or whatever, you want to go outside and do whatever people do outside anymore, if they do anything outside. I don't know. The point is, you need to get into a good emotional state, and you need to get your dopamine flowing so that you can then direct that dopamine into the direction you want to go, which is the homework. So do something you enjoy first, Rain, for very limited time, and then try doing your homework. Let's see. Liam Jones, do you have ADHD? Just curious. Why? Because that statement tells me that maybe you don't have ADHD, or maybe I don't know. I'm just curious. I couldn't concentrate at school. It was boring. I hated having to do homework after school even more. It's just normal. Yes, Liam, it is normal for everyone. However, Liam, for people with ADHD, like myself, and I am assuming most people who come to this channel, it is much more difficult to us, to the point that it's impairing for us to engage in homework. And it doesn't mean that if you can't concentrate, you have ADHD, nor does it mean if you have ADHD, you can't particularly concentrate. ADHD is a condition of interest. If we are interested in something, we have no trouble engaging. You might be like, well, duh, that's everybody. It is everybody. However, the point is, Liam, when there's something boring you don't want to do, and if you're not an ADHD person, my question for you is, how much time do you spend negotiating with yourself to get yourself to do the thing? And instead of just doing the thing because you know it needs to be done, you do other things to distract yourself, but all the while you are shaming yourself for not doing it. Like, I should be doing homework. I should be doing homework. Oh man, I should be doing homework. And then you just can't engage. It is like a brick wall for people with ADHD. It's like a brick wall that we don't know how to get through, because like we literally can't get through the brick wall. And people who don't have ADHD don't have that brick wall. So, Liam, I hope that answered your question for you, or at least addressed the question you had. Love, love. When am I visiting family in Chicago so we can hang out? Oh man, I was just in Alabama visiting my other main family pod. So Chicago, that'll probably have to be in the summertime. I'm thinking it's a little cold right there in Chicago, right? Let's say for the summertime. Um, Liam Jones, you say all the time, procrastination's not an illness. It's not an illness, Liam. It's not. However, it is a symptom and it is disruptive when it is more of a lifestyle than just a passing thing. Liam, I'd be interested to know if you're ADHD or not. You don't have to disclose, obviously, but I'm just curious if you're neurodivergent or not. If you are, then it sounds like there's a lot about ADHD that you don't connect with, which is fine. But if you are not, I'm just curious why you're here. Because those statements aren't terribly helpful in a community that is always being questioned and always being second guessed and always being told that we're not good enough or we, should just try harder. So just wanted to say that. Anyway, who else is here? Who else is here? Who has a really bespoke interest? Like this thing that you're really into it, and every time you try to talk to somebody about your interests, their eyes kind of go, talking about that thing again. Oh my gosh. Nobody cares. Anybody have an interest like that? If so, post up. I'd love to see what other people are interested in. Liam says, by my metric, it seems I'm telling everyone is ADHD. No, Liam, I'm not. Again, I think you're missing what I'm saying, or perhaps I'm just not saying it clear enough. The symptoms of ADHD are not exclusive to ADHD people. The difference is the severity and the depth of the symptoms. So every once in a while, everybody forgets where their keys are. Once in a while, everybody forgets somebody's name. Everybody forgets to do something. Everybody forgets to follow up on something, okay? That's why you hear occasionally people say, oh, I'm a little ADHD, or everybody has ADHD. The symptoms are universal to human beings. It is the severity that separates the condition of ADHD from not having ADHD. See, Liam, if you forget your keys once in a while, your life's probably not disrupted. But somebody like me, Liam, who locks herself out of her apartment at least twice a month because I forget my keys, and I'm talking twice a month for most of my adult life, that's disruptive. And it's not because I'm not intelligent, okay? It's not because I have Alzheimer's, okay? This has been going on my whole life. It is our brain wiring, Liam, that makes us different and means we have to do things differently to support ourselves in the areas that disrupt our lives. That's all. Let's see. Love. I love tiny houses. Me too. I couldn't get my friend to understand this last week why I was so into tiny houses. I'm like, I could totally live in a tiny house. I mean, I practically did when I lived in New York City. It wasn't a tiny house, but it was a tiny studioette apartment, which I loved. But now I have like a, 110-pound dog, and I don't think she'd like living in a tiny house. Liam says, so I suppose it's a spectrum. Liam, you are exactly right. It is like autism in that it is a spectrum condition. And there is a lot of overlap between autism symptoms or traits and ADHD symptoms, a lot of overlap. That's why with some people, if they think they are just getting an ADHD diagnosis and they have other things that ADHD doesn't account for, other things going on like extreme social disconnect or an inability to stay in a conversation, well, that's an ADHD thing too, but it's more extreme for someone with autism. So I would advise someone, not that anybody asked me, but if there are things that overlap between ADHD and autism that your ADHD doesn't answer, seeking out an autism diagnosis could be helpful. I don't know of many adults who get an autism diagnosis as an adult. That's extremely hard to diagnose, by the way. But there are resources out there. And thank you for your comments, Liam, and thank you for being respectful. I really appreciate it. Let's see, Liam. Okay, I lose my bank card at least 4 times a year in Keys. Liam, welcome to the village. Welcome to we are the village people. This is the ADHD village people. Liam, I'm not saying you have ADHD, but if things like that happen to you a lot and you are perplexed as to why it's something you can't seem to correct, I don't think you're being facetious at all, Liam. If you're experiencing behavior that troubles you, that disrupts your life, that you're like, why can't I why can't I remember to do, why am I so this, why am I so, like, like if you find yourself mentally or physically stupid doing that to yourself, it's worth getting a self-diagnosis first. Liam, if you need some resources, I'd be happy to, at the bottom of this video, post some links to some resources where you can do a self-diagnostic test. They're pretty short, but it's what psychiatrists use. And if you see from your results that, oh, wow, this says I might have ADHD, you can use that, print it out, and take it to your doctor and go from there. And good luck with that. Let's see. Love. Have I ever considered the possibility of autism for myself? Love, are you talking to me or Liam? I'm going to assume you're talking to me, Love. And Love, I will say only recently. Only recently I came across, my knees are sore. I'm sorry, guys. I gained a little weight over the last 5 years. And a little extra since Christmas. Anyway, and I have a bum knee because of it now. I'm working on it. I'd say around Thanksgiving, Love, I came across this channel on YouTube. I'm going to look it up. It might be helpful to somebody. It's this woman. She has recently discovered that she is an adult with autism. And she has a pretty successful channel now. It's very, very helpful. And she posts this chart that shows all of the symptoms that women with autism experience that may not be readily recognizable as autism because it might just be, confused with ADHD. And I read all the symptoms and I'm like, yeah, that's me too. That's me too. And I started to feel like I did when I did the self-diagnosis for my ADHD back in 2019, which, by the way, I was actually diagnosed first in my 20s back in the 1990s with ADHD. And I forgot about that diagnosis. Sorry, my throat's getting dry. I think I mentioned I'm overcoming the flu. I might have to make this live stream a little shorter than I anticipated because I'm starting to get a little in here. Let me find that autism / ADHD page for you guys if you're interested. Tell you what, I'll post it as a link in the description after this, after we end this off. Let's see. Love, ADHD here, but I'm suspecting autism as well. Oh, let me tell you, Love. Let me tell you, I love saying your name, Love. After I read that overlap of ADHD and how much of the symptoms of autism explain the unexplained part of ADHD, I actually started getting, I almost started not to mourn, but I started to feel heavy again because it felt like, I hate to say this, don't get mad at me for saying this, guys, but I almost felt like, man, something else I got to carry now. Something else is wrong with me. As far as like a label, because the label is like, labels are labels. And I guess it's how we perceive labels. And the autism community is a very strong, vibrant community, and they've made so many inroads for the neurodivergent world. And I almost felt like, is that a label that I want to carry for myself? So I don't know. I don't have any definitive diagnoses of autism, so I want to be careful about that because I don't want to diminish the experience of anyone who is autistic without ADHD. I don't want to like step on their toes, you know. Anyway, but I'm still, I'm still thinking about how I can help educate on that topic, even though I don't at this time say I'm autism ADHD. Liam says, my concern with YouTube channels regarding ADHD is I'm having trouble seeing, it makes it seem like you cannot function in the world. Oh, no, Liam. Ugh. Okay, that is a very valid perspective. And I can address that. I think most of the information that's out there on social media regarding ADHD, and there's so much more of it now than there was 5 years ago when I started my channel. I think, especially on YouTube, it all focuses on the education part or the, sorry, I don't know if y'all hear the car beeping outside. It's distracting me heavily. Let me shut the window. Close the window. Okay, so most of the information out there, and I'm talking about the vetted information. I'm talking about, the legit scientific, responsible information out there. The majority of it, it seems to me, at least on YouTube or, just the internet in general, it's about the education and the awareness part of ADHD. And the education and the awareness, unfortunately, includes this is what happens when you go undiagnosed or untreated. And yeah, it's like a warning. And it's a serious warning. And I think it's a warning that people should heed. And also, Liam, I feel like maybe there's so much of this is how ADHD can mess you up because it's not, ADHD isn't taken as seriously as a condition, as a disability, as a disorder. I'm using all the medical terms, as say autism is, or as say any disability that you can see, right? Somebody in a wheelchair, you can see they have a disability, right? And so you can imagine what their life must be like and the struggles. So nobody has to go and write, vlogs or make YouTube videos about the perils of being in a wheelchair. You can see the person's in a wheelchair. You can imagine what their struggle must be like. With ADHD, it's so internal, it's literally called the invisible disability. So you can't look at me, or I can't look at you or anybody else just casually and go, oh, that person's got ADHD. I can imagine what that's like. Unless you're wearing a t-shirt, I have ADHD. And even then it's like, they're wearing that as a joke. So because it's such an internal thing that expresses itself in so many different ways under different circumstances, it's hard to grasp, if you don't have ADHD, what that's like. So when you start looking for information about ADHD, yeah, it all sounds negative. It sounds really negative because ADHD will just kind of mess up your life. It really does. Unless, there are certain variables in your life that supports, the challenges you have. Now, if you look hard enough, you will find content out there and content creators that talk about ADHD being a gift and a superpower and the best thing ever. And we have ADHD. Oh, I forgot my keys. Ha. So there's the opposite end of that too. It's either, ADHD is either a curse or it's a gift. The in-between is where you find the reality. And so I try to put out content that balances, yeah, these are the great things about having ADHD, but it comes with negative things too. And usually the same challenge produces the negative and the positive. It just depends on in what environment you happen to be in at that moment, whether it is your strength or your weakness. Does that make sense? Anyway, guys, I am starting to peter out. My Adderall's wearing off. I had a coaching client about an hour ago, and my mouth is dry, and I'm starting to sweat again. Darn this flu. Anyway, I just wanted to, and my battery's going too. I just want to take a few minutes and just say hello to everybody and update everybody on what's going on, and get them watch hours in, not gonna lie. Anyway, everybody, if you are not a subscriber, please, before we get off this call or before I get off this live, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and yeah, I'm here, guys, to educate and to support the ADHD community, whether you have it, whether you think you have it, whether somebody you know has it. I think the biggest thing that you can do for yourself, if you think you have ADHD, or if you have it and you're kind of like ashamed that you have it, because that's a thing, learn as much as you can about ADHD from good, valid sources. I will put some resources in the description for you guys. And again, once you accept that this is a lifelong thing. I was a kid with ADHD, and now I'm a grown-up with ADHD. It can be managed. It can be fun. It can be fun for other people around you, or not. So anyway, I feel like the biggest key to being somebody who successfully lives in the world. Hold on.
Call SAC to inquire about ADHD coaching services. Just let me know if this is done.
I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's my Alexa speaker. I gave her an Indian man's voice. It's so entertaining. Anyway, that's just one of the strategies I use to stay on top of my day. I have my Alexa remind me pretty much all of my appointments all day, and things that are on a to-do list that I haven't gotten around to yet. She reminds me like every hour until I get to it. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't remember. I just want to say, oh yeah, it takes time for some people. Some people it happens like this, but it's the acceptance that this is, you are a person who has this brain, because it's all a brain thing, and all the stuff that you feel shame about having, or that you feel like, you know, you're responsible for all the chaos that goes on around you. It's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault. It is 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 not your fault, okay? You just have a brain that requires a different learning style, requires a different set of instructions, requires just a different way of doing things. And different doesn't mean bad. Different just means better. No, different just means different. That's all. All right, everybody. I'm going to get off the last shot now. Hope you all have a beautiful weekend. I will look much cuter the next time I'm on. Hopefully I won't have the flu. All right, everybody. Have a great night. And yeah. God bless everybody. All right. I'm for you. I am for you. If you have ADHD, I am for you. Bye-bye.